Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, a crash into a pole. A crash knocked out power this morning for dozens in Raleigh. A look at the restoration efforts.
And we're tracking a system that's likely to continue to bring us rain as we get through the day today. I'll show you how heavy it will be where you are.
And more facing charges. 4 additional people are charged in connection with a mass shooting in Catawba County. But we know about the ongoing search for some of these men.
The Nintendo Switch 2 is here. We're going to tell you how hundreds stood in line for several hours, all for the new console.
A lot of excitement for people out there on this WRAL Weather Alert Day. Thanks so much for waking up with us this morning. I'm Chris Lovingood.
And I'm Renee Chu. Yes, we have some extra early risers because of the Nintendo Switch 2 as people were waiting in line there. We'll tell you all about that in just a moment. But first, let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with the rain that's moving in and why it's a WRAL Weather Alert Day.
We're looking at some steady rain this morning. It'll become heavier as we get through the afternoon, and so it should have an impact on your day for sure. It's a coastal low, so it comes with a lot of moisture, and it may not be heavy where you are all day, but certainly we'll see the chances of that heavy rain increasing as we get into the afternoon. This is a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar, and you can see just a few isolated showers out there right now. We'll zoom in a little bit farther to the south. A couple sprinkles around Sanford and Dunn, Fayetteville, Hope Mills, and Clinton. Hasn't really worked its way up into the triangle just yet, so if you're headed out the door here in the next hour or so, you're probably going to be just fine. We have a low risk for flooding this afternoon. Rain totals anywhere from ½ an inch to 1.5 inches. They'll be lighter in the north and heavier to the south and east, closer to the coast. Those potential storms starting to really kick in around 6 or 7 o'clock. So now all the way through around 6 or 7 o'clock this evening, with the best chance between, say, 10 o'clock and around 2 o'clock this afternoon. There may be some thunderstorms along with this as well. Hour by hour forecast almost holding steady temperatures in the upper 60s now to mid 70s later on this afternoon. So with the clouds and the rain, it'll stay, fairly gray and cool for us all day. Looking ahead to Saturday, that looks like our next best chance of severe storms. Right now it's a level 1 risk, but a level 2 risk not far away. We'll walk you through the timeline coming up. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, we want to get right to that breaking news, that crash that happened earlier this morning at Old Wake Forest Road. Falls of news, a car crashed into a pole. The scene is clear, but we do have WR's Kelsey Coffey on the scene this morning to set the scene for us and let us know exactly what's going on right now. Kelsey.
Ken, several of the crews have left now, but you can see there's still a couple of trucks left here at the scene. And you can even see there where that car hit a pedestrian crossing sign there that's on the ground. But we'll take you to some video now so you can get a closer look at the aftermath of that crash. The power is back on this morning after this crash happened on Old Wake Forest and Falls of Noose Road. A car hit a power pole. So at one point, more than 150 customers were without power. You may be able to see Duke Energy crews there working to restore power. Crews with Spectrum were also here on the scene, likely working to restore cable. So right now, we're asking police what led up to the crash and whether anyone was hurt. But Ken, what can you tell folks before they head out on their morning drive?
We just really want them to be mindful of those crews who are still there on the scene working to restore cable and power in that area. We appreciate that, Kelsey. Right now, we do have Raleigh police working a minor crash in the 5000 block of Reedy Creek. This is near Bandwidth, right over there off of Edwards Mill, not really causing any delays for you this morning. Just a situation where you see some police activity. Here's a live look at I-40 and Wade Avenue traffic beginning to pick up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thanks. 4 new suspects are facing charges in connection with the shooting at a Catawba County house party. The sheriff's office is searching for Keandre Mack and Toland Huff Jr., both accused of firing shots at the party. And new this morning, alcohol law enforcement agents have arrested Patrick Tolbert and Raekwon Craig. Both men are facing charges for hosting the event and providing alcohol to underage people there. This all comes in addition to the man we told you about yesterday, Garen Killian. Killian is facing an attempted murder charge and made his first appearance in court yesterday. A judge granted him a $200,000 bond. He is now out of jail with an electronic monitor. According to court records, at the time of the shooting, Killian was already out on bond for assault charges from an April 6th shooting. Last Sunday, 1 person was killed and 11 others were injured when authorities say several people opened fire at a house party near Hickory.
North Carolina lawmakers want to make big changes to the state's foster care system. That's why this morning lawmakers are expected to debate what sponsors call the Fostering Care in NC Act in a Senate committee. The bill would give the state more power to check records and enforce rules at local social services offices. Now, this is happening 2 months after WRAL's documentary, Broken: Foster Care in North Carolina. We exposed major problems in the system, and you can find that documentary in the documentary section of WRAL.com.
President Trump announced a new travel ban, citing security concerns. This goes into effect Monday. The president is following up on an executive order he signed on his first day in office. It bars people from 12 different countries from entering the United States, including from Afghanistan, Haiti, and the Republic of Congo. It also partially restricts the entry of people from 7 other countries. Note, the list does not include Egypt, the native country of the suspect in the Boulder attack. A White House official says Trump made the final decision about the ban after that incident.
Durham County commissioners are holding their final scheduled budget work sessions this morning. Last month, County Manager Claudia Hager put forth a near $1.5 billion budget. That included an increase in the county tax rate, a pay raise for county employees, and a $10 million increase in the school district budget. Now, the school budget has been met with resistance as the district asked for a nearly $16 million increase. The county manager is expected to deliver the final recommended budget at next week's meeting.
The governor's crime mission is scheduled to meet today. The commission, led by Orange County Sheriff Charles Blackwood, is expected to get updates on gang crimes, route, and violence at the county level. This commission is designed to help advise the governor on policy and is tasked with seeking funding from the federal government. The meeting is open to the public. It starts at 9 a.m. on Front Street in Raleigh.
Oh, it's a big morning for gamers. At midnight, tons of people got their hands on the highly anticipated Nintendo Switch 2, and that includes the hundreds of people lined up outside the Best Buy in Cary. Ali Kadlubar was there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Ali, they're all gone. They're probably at home, maybe sleeping, but most likely they're playing their new game.
Oh yeah, most likely gaming. And when we got here, we saw that line stretch to the end of that curb, one of 2 lines, each person waiting to walk in, get their hands on that Switch with a different reason. Each person walking out saying that it was worth the wait. From super fans,
I've always been a huge Nintendo fan,
to super moms.
Tomorrow is my son's birthday. He saw the preview when it came out and he just wanted it.
And even Super Mario.
12 o'clock, let's do it.
Best Buy says more than 200 people waited in line before midnight, all to take home the gaming console. The new Mario Kart game also exclusively sold with it. Donald Willingboard says he stayed up late to get it for his grandkids, but also for his own enjoyment.
And I see them doing it, and although I'm 73, I thought I could try to learn this. I had the first Atari, the first Sega Genesis, so now Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, I just love that. And he said that he may become a pro, so he might have to let his grandkids win. You gotta love that and the joy around it. But we are working to find out how many are exactly left here at the store in Cary, and as well as how many were sold just overnight. Reporting in Cary, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
Financial troubles deepen for St. Augustine's University. New court documents obtained by WRAL show a Wake County judge ordered the university to pay more than $20 million to the wireless company SBA Connect. This comes as the wireless company claims the university went into default of its agreement in September for not making payments to the company. 1992 graduate Carol Kimball wanted to continue her family's rich legacy of attendance, but an uncertain financial situation gives her pause.
It's just another hit in a long line of blows of the lack of responsibility, lack of board governance, lack of oversight by those left in her charge. I can't even send my children there, and that was always my plan.
On top of financial challenges, St. Aug is still fighting for accreditation status after a previous appeal in March failed. Arbitration is set for June 26th.
A Raleigh man is facing charges because his dog died in a hot car. Brett Brown told police he tried to bring his pit bull to work on Monday. And court documents say Brown was told animals were not allowed there. Well, that's why he parked his vehicle nearly a mile away with the dog locked inside around 8 a.m. And a coworker found the dog dead around 4 p.m. and called police. Brown posted a $3,000 bond and is due back in court later this month and faces up to 3 years in prison if found guilty.
A man hit by a wrong-way driver on I-40 is finally out of the hospital after spending nearly a month at Wake Med. Kai Ritchie was injured in the crash last month. He was on his way home from work when police say he was hit by Jose Lopez Sanchez. Officers say Lopez Sanchez was driving the wrong way on I-40 while impaired. Ritchie has injuries to his arms, knees, and legs, just to name a few. He says recovery will take time.
Physical therapy appointments at Cary Wake Med, hopefully, and just working as hard as I can, even outside of that. You know, doing workouts at home like I used to, and just being active and not just, you know, laying around in a bed all day, because that's not going to fix it.
A long road to recovery, but he's got this. Ritchie says he holds no grudges against the man who hit him. He hopes others learn from his story and to not drink and drive. Visit WRAL.com to learn how you can help Ritchie's road to recovery.
Your time is 6:10. Federal orders. The Trump administration is taking action against 2 major universities. The threats to accreditation and international student visas.
Plus, a crane collapse. 2 people were killed on this job site in Florida. The possible reason the crane fell.
And tracking some showers today. Just a little light patchy rain in our southern counties right now, but I'll show you when the rain will start where you are.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, taking a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. Right now, the rain is light and patchy, but it still could be enough to have some impacts on your morning commute. Right now, again, 6:14, so it's early in the commute, but as we get through the morning, we're going to see more of this rain lifting northward. Again, even down in Southern Pines, Fayetteville, Clinton, it's light and patchy right now, so nothing heavy headed our way. Once we get closer to 10 or 11 o'clock, we do see that chance of rain really starting to crank up, though. You can see it's 90% at 10, and that lasts all the way until around 2 or 3. We may also see some scattered thunderstorms embedded within some of these cells too that are coming through our area, so we have some rumbles of thunder later on. Our temperature 67 in Wilson, 71 in Durham, and 70 in Fayetteville. It feels tropical out there. It's really warm and sticky, and there's still some kids that have to go to school for a couple more days into next week, I guess. So if you're headed out this morning, temperatures are in the 60s. Will climb into the mid 70s. Ken?
Fine, Elizabeth, happening now. The WRAL Traffic Center give you your window onto your morning commute. How about I-40 and Jones Sausage Road? Traffic beginning to pick up just a little bit coming into the capital city, but no delays to report there on I-40 westbound. If you're losing the southern loop of the Beltline, that's delay-free as well. Wade Avenue, completely delay-free. We just have that crash right there at Bandwidth, right on the 5,000 block of Reedy Creek. But again, that's not causing any problems for you this morning. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. We'll keep you updated.
The Trump administration is making moves to restrict 2 of the nation's largest universities. The Education Department's Office for Civil Rights put out a statement saying Columbia University acted with deliberate indifference toward the harassment of Jewish students. This comes after an investigation into the school's response to pro-Palestinian protests on campus. The notice threatens the university's accreditation status. Columbia says it will address the administration's concerns directly with its accreditor. And President Trump signed a proclamation to restrict foreign student visas at Harvard. Entry into the U.S. is suspended for foreign nationals wanting to study at Harvard for 6 months. The president says this is being done on the basis of national security concerns. Judges blocked a similar ban last week, but last night's executive order requires different legal authority.
A crane collapse in Florida killed 2 people, and this happened yesterday afternoon on Merritt Island. It's about an hour east of Orlando. Investigators say the construction was at the site of a new hospital, and OSHA is working to determine what caused the deadly collapse. We can tell you that meteorologists say strong storms produced 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts near that site at the time of the collapse.
Another person has been identified in connection with that bombing on a California fertility clinic. Authorities say the attacker did not work alone. 32-year-old Daniel Park was detained at JFK Airport in New York. In the criminal complaint, the government says Park shipped approximately 275 pounds of ammonium nitrate to the initial bombing suspect. That's an explosive precursor used to make homemade bombs. The suspect died in the attack.
An icon of the downtown Raleigh skyline, it's here to stay. The Round Holiday Inn on Hillsborough Street was supposed to be demolished. Tidal Real Estate Partners bought the building in 2021 with plans to tear it down. But plot twist, the plans have changed. IHG Hotels and Resorts told WRAL the building's shape will be preserved and it'll be converted into a Hotel Indigo. Tonight on WRAL, cell phones in the classroom. You have heard us talk a lot about that topic this week. Well, state lawmakers and school boards want to address their use. And that's why WRAL's Destiny Patterson teamed up with our education insider, Emily Walkenhorst. They went inside schools in the area to see what's working and what's not.
As I'm walking around, what am I actually looking for now? What are they doing? Are they doing the work or are they on their phones?
And so our team worked to answer questions you may have, like, is one policy better than others? And what do students and teachers think about this? We answer those questions tonight at WRAL News at 6 o'clock.
It is 6:18 on your Thursday morning, and the rain is starting to move in. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. A lot of cloudy gray skies out there.
It is a gray and gloomy start. A little bit on the tropical side, though. It feels pretty muggy as you're heading out. In Fayetteville, we've shown some sprinkles there on the radar, but it doesn't look like much is really reaching the ground just yet. We're dry in Raleigh right now, as well as Apex and in Chapel Hill. Most of the rain is coming up from the South Carolina line and pushing up to the north. It is a tropical low, so that tropical low will help to bring us some scattered showers and maybe even a few isolated thunderstorms. The farther south and east you are, closer to the center of the circulation, there's a small chance that there could be just a few spin-up tornadoes. This is something that we see pretty regularly with a hurricane or a tropical storm that comes inland. We'll see these little spin-up tornadoes. And so this is not anything as strong as that. So the chances are very low, but they're just not zero. So it's worth a mention. Southern Pines, Fayetteville, Smithfield, Clayton, all seeing a little bit of just patchy rain close by, but again, not much falling just yet. This is a look at our next weather maker here. Sitting along the coast, it will continue to push northward and eventually start to bring some heavier rain. There's a small flood risk, especially for our southern counties, but we do have a greater severe threat this weekend. Saturday and Sunday are now level 1 to 2 risks for severe storms. Here's Futurecast for us this morning. Notice how the rain starts to pick up in intensity as we get closer to 8 or 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then we begin to see some pockets where it's a little heavier, maybe even a few thunderstorms that develop. This is not going to last all day long. Once we get past the evening commute, it does begin to taper off just a little bit. This is a jump ahead to Saturday. And right now, Saturday is a level 1 risk, but level 2 is close by, just a small sliver of some of our southwestern counties in that level 2 risk for Saturday. And then on Sunday, there's a possible severe threat as well from the Triangle area south and east. So looks like it may be a fairly busy weekend and maybe not so great for getting outside. I'll tell you, Saturday and Sunday both look like they'll be afternoon to evening thunderstorms, so you may have a chance in the morning to get out and about. We're at a 90% chance for it today, and Friday looks like the driest day of the next 4, but we could still see an isolated evening thunderstorm. For the next 5 days, rainfall will average about 3/4 of an inch to as much as 2 inches, but for today, we're looking probably somewhere between a 1/2 inch and an inch to an inch and a half, and it is a WRAL weather alert day for that small chance for flooding. Boy, it turns hot for us over the weekend through Monday, a couple of highs in the 90s, Ken.
Elizabeth, a rather quiet start to our morning commute with the rain showers beginning to move into the southern part of our viewing area, but nothing really in the Wake County area. We do have Raleigh police working this minor crash on Reedy Creek Road. It's in the 5000 block near Edwards Mill. This is right near Bandwidth. It's a minor crash, not really causing any problems for you this morning. How about if we hop over to the Bull City, give you a live look at I-885 and Ellis Road. Traffic beginning to pick up just a little bit, but flowing nicely in all directions. In terms of other major routes heading into the Bull City, you just have a 4-minute delay if you're coming in from Highway 98. You're getting ready to head onto the car. Tune us in on the radio. We've got you covered. 101.5 HD3.
Crown Event Center canceled. Leaders vote to abandon the project for a big local event venue. What this means for the major development. And the Switch 2 is here. At midnight, hundreds of gamers lined up in Cary to be among the first to get Nintendo's latest gaming system. A look at all the excitement. Ahead this morning on Today, an exclusive interview with the family of a 10-month-old boy who had a successful new gene editing procedure. And we'll give you a look at your winning lottery numbers. We'll be right back with what's trending.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
New music tomorrow from Cynthia Erivo.
And it turns out some Raleigh squirrels are enjoying the good life right now in style. Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending.
Stop what you're doing at home because you don't want to miss this hilarious video making the rounds after it was shared with us here at WRAL. One of our loyal viewers, Jillian Bullock, sent us this video. These are squirrels beating the heat yesterday afternoon. Look at those tails cooling off.
I mean, it kind of makes you wish for like some sunny weather, right? Because today we're going to get some rain. But I mean, these squirrels, they're living it up right now.
Yeah, not just us.
They found the perfect spot there.
Yep. Well, how about this? We all know that the sequel, the trailer for Wicked, out right now. But even though the movie won't hit theaters until November, you don't have to wait until that long to hear new music from its star, Cynthia Erivo. The Grammy-winning actress's second album, I Forgive You, drops tomorrow.
And so many of us have seen Cynthia Erivo in the Wicked role, but out of that role, I mean, her voice is still just so warm and resonant and absolutely beautiful. She doesn't just sing, she embodies the song, and so great to, can't wait to hear more of that new music.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a success.
Wonderful voice. Thanks, Ken. The Edmonton Oilers defeated the Florida Panthers in last night's Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. The game was 3-3 going into overtime when Oilers star Leon Draisaitl hit one in for the win. Well, this pairing is a rematch of last year's final when the Panthers won it all. Game 2 of the series is tomorrow night, also in Edmonton.
And taking a look at radar, watching some showers, mostly to our south right now, moving to the north. We're going to see the rain picking up in intensity around 8 to 10 a.m. I'll show you what to expect between now and then for your morning commute.
New charges in Catawba County. Multiple people have been arrested after a dozen people were injured during a shooting at a house party. The new arrests we're learning about this morning.
And marijuana oversight. A Republican representative joins the governor's new THC council, the group's effort to improve marijuana legislation in our state.